Namaste and welcome to Tridevi Chamunda Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit, and welcome to day 2 of Navaratri. Today we'll be honoring the goddess Tara. So again, glad you could join me for day 2. Just a couple of announcements for the next couple of days. So today we're going to be finishing up the Tripura Tapini Upanishad. We're going to be doing parts 3, 4, and 5, and it's going to include a meditation on mantras to the powers of destruction, preservation, and creation. So we'll be doing some mantra work as part of today's meditation as well. And then tomorrow, also at noon, we'll be honoring the goddess Sudashi, the third of the Mahavidya, great wisdom goddesses, and our meditation will include a recitation of the Tripura Upanishad. So, wanted to say a bit more about this power of Tripura, the goddess, the deity of the three worlds that can include the powers of creation, preservation, and destruction. Destruction really followed by renewal, or the powers of will, the powers of knowledge, the powers of action. And it can also be in reference to 3 states of consciousness: our regular waking state of consciousness, dream, sleep, and then the deepest form of sleep, dreamless sleep as well. And the Yoga Nidra state goes right in there in between waking consciousness and dreamless sleep. We'll be doing a Yoga Nidra meditation later on this month. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Tara. I'm going to focus us back onto our altar and this painting. So Tara is the second of the Mahavidya, or great wisdom goddesses, and you'll notice first that she looks very much like Ma Kali. So she is standing on a form of Lord Shiva. We see her necklace of severed heads or skulls, again representing the 50 letters of the Sanskrit alphabet, so her relationship to both mantra and the word itself, speech. She has Kali's sword for cutting away ego attachments, but she's holding 3 other objects. So we see that she's holding lotus flower, which represents purity and wisdom, and also the truth. She holds a skull cup, or kapala, related to the transformation of consciousness. And then she has this little pair of shears as well. I'll say just a little bit about that in a moment. Also notice her long hair going out in all directions, as I mentioned last night. This is associated with the fact that with this form of the divine feminine, her feminine power, her Shakti, is completely liberated, completely free. So Tara has an interesting history. There's debate among some scholars as to whether or not her worship originated in maybe China or Tibet and worked its way over to India, or vice versa, that she was first worshipped in India and then her devotion went further eastward. So in India, we see her as this very Kali-like figure. We go northern and more eastward to Nepal and Tibet. We see that there are different forms of Tara, different forms of who is regarded as the mother of compassion. And so, for example, there's green Tara, who's associated with active energy, white Tara, similar to this white lotus, is related to wisdom and the truth. There's Black Tara, who's very much a Kali-like figure. Blue Tara, who's a very protective figure. And Red Tara, who has a kind of a similar function to Lord Ganesha in being the remover of obstacles. And we're going to be doing a special verse from part 3 of our Upanishad, where we're going to be using that as an invocation to Lord Ganesha. So, as Kali is the power of the divine that comes in when we're very much first in need, and she comes in with her sword and she cuts away these ego attachments, these aspects of our psyche that are really standing in the way of us expressing our true potential. So Ma Tara then represents really the next step, which is the path we take in the resolution of that issue. So it can be a sadhana that we begin to practice. It can be the devotion to a particular deity, maybe doing pujas to an image of that deity, or following a particular teacher or teachings. The term Tara, the name Tara itself means star, and think of her as a guiding star, the stars that might help a sailor to navigate across the earth, for example. So she's this guiding principle that leads us to self-actualization. And these little shears, I mentioned Kali coming in with her sword and swiftly cutting out this particular issue in us. And it's like Tara comes in with these fine little shears and just makes sure that things are completely excised. So just a little bit of information on Tara. Again, I would invite you to look at the PowerPoint video that I posted yesterday, our introduction to the 10 Mahavidyas, the 10 great wisdom goddesses, and really how their different roles fit together. Really, they illustrate an initiatory pathway, one that we go through again and again and again as we learn and as we grow in our lives. And something else to keep in mind is all 10 of the Mahavidya goddesses are really different aspects of Ma Kali herself. So, for example, tomorrow we honor Ma Sudashi, we're honoring Kali in the form of an adolescent girl. So, Jai Matara. So let's go ahead and go into our puja and then our readings and our meditations. So I invite you to find a comfortable seated position, either on the floor with a cushion like I'm doing, or a straight back chair. For the meditative phase, you could even do this lying on your back in Shavasana as well, whatever is going to work with your body today. And so again, I invite you to close your eyes, open your breath, begin slow, deep yogic breath. Maybe roll the shoulders back to open the chest, completely filling and emptying the lungs. Taking this time to ground and to center and to prepare for this work that we're about to be doing. Time to learn, time to make discoveries, and especially the discovery of that divine power within ourselves, always there to guide us. So again, let's open our practice with those 3 Bij mantras or seed mantras. Aing, Reem, Kleem. So I invite you to bring the palms of your hands together at your heart center. Deep inhale for Aing. Inhale, Hrim. Inhale, clean. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly opening your eyes, focusing upon the screen and our altar. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmare Pandarikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. So for our third Upanishad of the greater Tripura Tapini Upanishad, we're going to just do two invocational mantras from that Upanishad, and then for our actual meditation, we'll go into the fourth Upanishad and then the fifth. So this first one is for Lord Ganesha, and this is really going to reflect his very active role as the remover and destroyer of obstacles. We invoke you, leader of hosts, of poets, poet most renowned, ruler of rulers among Brahmins, Lord of Brahmins, pay heed to us. Come with protection to our homes. Uttering this hymn, we touch the body, pronouncing the seed syllable Ga. We bow down to Ganesha, saying Gam to Ganesha. Om, bow unto the blessed Lord, with the ash-smeared limbs of formidable prowess. Kill, kill, burn, burn, consume, consume, subdue, subdue, erase, erase. Breaker up of the plow, at the foot of the trident, secure the accompaniment of the cymbal. Dry up the eastern sea, immobilize, immobilize. You who destruct, that counsels, the machines, the strategy, the messengers, the armies of the enemy. Tear up, cut up, cut up. Hrim, Fat, Svaha. With this worship, we worship the Lord of the fields. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Jai Ganesha. We honor our teachers, both within and without. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshvara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri, Guru De Namah, Namah, Jai Guru. We honor Lord Shiva. Om Trayambakam Yajamaye, Sagandim Pushtivardhanam, Odvarakam Bandhanam Machur Mukshiyamamrita. Om Namah Shivaya. And then with our second hymn from the third Upanishad of the Tripura Tapini, We'll honor the Divine Mother in all her forms. O maid of noble lineage, we know, we contemplate a crore of mantras. So may Kula's force inspire us ever. Thus adoring the maiden, whichever aspirant maintains immortality, he attains renown and the full stretch of life, or knowing the supreme Brahman he abides. Whosoever knows this wins the fruit, wins the boons. This is the great Upanishad. Om Sri Devi Namaha. And finally, we honor the second of the great wisdom goddesses, Matara. Om Taraye Cha Vidmaye Manograhaye Dimai Teno Devi Prachodayat. Jai Matara. So for our puja mantra, the mantra for Matara is Om Tara Tutara Turiye Svaha. 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 Continue the mantra. Om Tara Tutara Turiye Svaha. 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 Om Tara Tutara Turiya Svaha. Om Tara Tutara Turiya Svaha. Feeling the power of this mantra. Letting that energy travel to where it is needed, especially for those in need of guidance. Remember the Hollinsby family, Johnson family, family of Anute Thomas, friend Achila, Ratha, Susan, and everyone else associated with our temple. Jai Matata Devi. So I invite you now to close your eyes and breathe deeply. And let the words of our Upanishad and the sounds of our mantras guide your psyche to wherever it needs to be at this moment. Tripura Tapini Upanishad, the fourth Upanishad. Advice about victory over death. The gods verily said to the blessed Lord, Lord, the heart of the most excellent Gayatri pertaining to Tripura has been expounded to us. In the hymn of Tripura's 8 are limned, thus adoring her. From the bonds of life, the yogin is released. Now tell us about victory over death, hearing the words of all the gods. Speaking thus, the victory over death is revealed through the hymn of Triambaka. Explanation of the words such as Triambaka. Whence the word Triambaka derived. Being master of the 3 cities, he is Triambaka. Why say, let us sacrifice? Sacrifice means worship. Extol the real by 2 syllables, Mai, by the immutable single letter, Kam, after Triambaka. Victory over death is expressed. So it is said, let us sacrifice. Now why say fragrant? He attains renown on all sides, hence he is said fragrant. Why say increase growth? He creates all the worlds, saves all the worlds, pervades all the worlds, hence he is said to increase growth. Why say like a cucumber fruit? Let me find freedom. As the cucumber is fast held to the stalk, so is humanity bound fast. And one is released from death, the bondage of transmigration. One becomes free. Why say unto immortality? One achieves immortality, achieves the imperishable. One becomes Lord Rudra Shiva. So we're going to repeat the mantra that's just been discussed. Triambakam yajamae sagundim pushtivardhanam urvarukameva bandhanam mature mukshyamamritat. So listen to the words of the mantra, feel its power. And if you would like, you're welcome to chant along as well. Om Triambakam yajamae sagundim pushtivardhanam urvarukameva bandhanam mature mukshyamamritat. Om Triambakam yajamae sagundim pushtivardhanam urvarukameva bandhanam mature mukshyamamritat. Om Triambakam yajamae sagundim pushtivardhanam Urvarukameva bandhanan mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam. 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 Om Urvarukameva bandhanan mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamaye Sagandim Pushtivardhanam. 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 Urvarukameva bandhanan mrityurmukshiyamamritat. Breathe deeply. Feeling the power of destruction, followed by renewal. And letting its energy settle into your life, what is most needed at this time. Jai Shakti. Continue breathing. Continue listening. The mantra for the vision of Bhagavati. The gods verily said, the blessed Lord, everything has been compounded to us. Now tell us all those mantras pertaining to Shiva, Vishnu, Surya, Ganesha, by lauding with which Bhagavati will reveal herself. The blessed Lord said, with Triambaka in sloka meter, the worship of the conqueror of death, is laid down, that single letter is pervaded, as shown before. One who worships with the mantra of the yagyas, Om, reverence to Shiva, attains the status of Rudra and achieves balance. He who knows this does so. The supreme abode of Vishnu and Lakshmi, like the eye across the heavens, the wise always beholds. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vishnu faces all quarters, as oil surrounds and fills a ball of sesamum. He pervades all things. His supreme abode is the high sky. The wise, namely gods like Brahma, behold it and hold it forever in the heart. Hence, Vishnu's own form is derived from his abiding, existing in all beings. He is Vasudeva, the God who dwells in all. Om Namah consists of 3 syllables. Bhagavate has 4 syllables. Vasudevaya has 5 syllables. This is the 12-syllabled mantra of Vasudeva. He who knows this surmounts all hardships, lives, a full life, achieves mastery over things, and enjoys possession of wealth and cattle. The letters Aum, constituting the pranava, denote the inward bliss of the all-pervading Brahman. Putting them all together, there is formed Om. Swan sailing in the pure sky, dweller in the atmosphere, sacrificer near the altar, guest walking into the house, dweller in men, in noble things, in the right and the sky, in waters born. Born in the night, in the light, in the right, in mounts, the right, the great. He is the Lord. All fruits one wins, who repeats the previous mantra of the sun together with the powers, namely the dawn, the dusk, the intellect, which are true, ordered, embodied light. By each of the other luminous words in this mantra of the Surya, it is upheld. Words like in waterborne also denote the powers. He dwells in the high abode in heavens pertaining to the sun, worshipping the Lord of hosts. With the mantra previously given, we invoke you, leader of the hosts, in the Transtuba meter. Together with the monosyllabic, one achieves the status of Ganesha. Next have been laid down the Gayatri and the Savriti, the unuttered mantra, japa, of Sarasvati, the matrika, or alphabet. By it, all this has been pervaded. Ain, the goddess of speech, we know. Klim, the goddess of desire, we meditate. Sao, may the power inspire us. Thus, we mourn Gayatri at midday, Savriti at dusk, Sarasvati, the Ajapa Hamsa, the unuttered, is chanted without break. The matrika, comprising 50 letters from A to Ksha, pervades all words. The Shastras, all Vedas, the goddess pervades all things. Reverence unto her, reverence unto her. The blessed Lord said unto them, whoso perpetually lauds the goddess with these mantras beholds all things. He attains immortality. Whosoever knows this is the Upanishad. So we're going to repeat the mantra of preservation of Vishnu and of Lakshmi. Again, breathe deeply, hear the words, feel its power, and chant along if you feel comfortable as well. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Breathing deeply, feeling the powers of preservation. And again, letting those energies settle in your lives where they most need to be. Om Vishnu. Lakshmi. And continue to breathe as we move into the next Upanishad. Inquire into Brahman without attributes. The gods verily said to the Blessed Lord clearly has been explained in this section the activities that pertains to Tripura. With all topics next, tell us of the attributeless Supreme. Blessed Lord spoke to them by means of the fourth and final Maya. Has the Supreme Brahman been indicated, the Supreme Person, the Supreme Self, whose essence is consciousness, the hearer, the thinker, the seer, the teacher, the toucher, the proclaimer, the cognitizer, the supreme knower, the inner person of all persons. That self must be cognized. In that there is neither words, seen nor unseen, no gods or demons, beasts or non-beasts, ascetics or non-ascetics, outcasts or non-outcasts, Brahmins or non-Brahmins, alone the single and supreme Brahman, all quiet, shines forth. Gods, seers, prevail not there. The awake knower, the all-knower, is Brahman. Control of the mind. In this context, there are the following verses. Hence, the seeker after liberation must, from object of his mind, withdraw. For liberation is indeed mind's detachment from objects. Two kinds of minds there are, pure and impure. Impure the mind, desire-ridden, the pure, the desires freed. Mind alone is the cause of man's bondage and release. Bondage is clinging to objects. The mind withdraws, therefore promotes release. Shorn of attachment to objects and restricted to the heart, mind thus ceases to be mind, such is the state supreme. Control the mind until the quintessence reaches the heart. This knowledge and meditation, the rest is naught but words. Brahman is not thinkable alone, nor thinkable, think not. Yet only think, thus surely become Brahman, the same to all. Yogin dissolves himself with self, in being through meditation high. Meditation on non-self is deemed no meditation at all. That Brahman has no parts. In beyond concepts, without blemish, knowing that I am that, by slow degrees one Brahman does become. Knowing it as beyond concepts, endless without cause or parallel, immeasurable and beginningless, the man of wisdom is released. There is no restriction, no origin, none in bondage. None who strives, none seeks liberation, none liberated with this truth. In wakeful state, in dreams, in sleep, know that the self is only one. For one who passes beyond these states, rebirth is none. One real self alone exists in diverse beings as one. Or many is seen like the moon in water sheen. When the pot is moved, the sky pot bound moves not. So in living self unmoved, like sky when only pot has moved. When repeated in different forms, like pot from pot distinct, one knows not these divisions, and yet at all times knows. As long as illusions, words encompass one, difference lasts. When darkness is scattered, it is unity one sees. The lower Brahman in this world, the eternal, when one wears off, remains. Its knower shall, for peace of mind, on eternal meditate. Two Brahmans are to be pondered on, the Word and Brahman supreme. In the Word well versed, one attains Brahman supreme. The acute mind, after study of texts on knowledge and wisdom intent, must forsake all as one who seeks gain, forsake the husk performance. The vision of the Supreme Self. Milk has but a single color, through drawn from diverse cows, as milk is knowledge unknown. Its sources are like cows. Focusing the eye of knowledge, evoke the thought, I am Brahman, the great supreme abode without parts or movement, the quintessent one. Whoever knows thus, the one supreme form of Brahman, the fourth, abiding all beings, dwells in imperishable supreme abode. I seek refuge for the sake of life in this fourth power of knowledge, the cause, the manifestation of Brahman. So ends this great Upanishad. So I invite you to breathe deeply as we chant our final mantra, and I encourage you to chant this along with us, the mantra of creation, and the creation of release, and the creation of that divine source within all things. Inhale. Om. Breathing deeply, feeling the power of Om within yourself and all the things that surround you. And the letter A is the power of creation. The letter of U, preservation. And in the M, the power of destruction, followed by renewal. Om, Ramagena, Tema Sarasvati. I invite you now to take a deep and clearing breath. Letting go of the meditation, but feeling the energies of these three mantras with you. The energies of these mantras stay with you in the day and days ahead. Just carry this meditation with you. Becoming aware of your surroundings, the sensation of your body seated or lying where it is. Listening to our benedictions. Om Sava Mangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadake Saranye Trambake Devi Naryane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sana Bhavatu Sana Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvidyavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Devi. Jai Matara. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. Jai Mata Di. I invite you to bring the palms of your hands to your heart center. Feeling the divine within and without, knowing it is always there. Giving gratitude to yourself for taking part in these practices today. Slowly opening your eyes. Namaste. Blessings always. Jai Ma. And thank you. So, have a wonderful day ahead. Keeping these mantras with you. I look forward to you joining me tomorrow at noon for our puja to Ma Sudashi, also known as Tripura Sundari, and hearing the words of the Tripura Upanishad. Jai Ma.